We're back in DayZ, and we're doing something a little bit different today. We're going to be going over a series of servers that offer what I consider to be the best PvP-focused action. Believe it or not, I do get this question an absolute ton in regards to what you suggest for servers. Keep in mind that while I've in the past said, hey, it's hard to do these lists because, you know, these things are constantly being taken down, I thought, this might be something fun and a little bit different to do that I can, kind of do a video on, because there's not a whole lot going on with DayZ at the current point, and I probably should switch over to the actual scope, but I thought I could, kind of finish him off without having to do that, but I have died. And with that, when we revive here, it's probably a good time to show what server we're in. So this is the Northwest Airfield option. Those always tend to be the best ones, especially the ones that have a sort of modded style to them in regards to the buildings and the content that is present within the levels. It's a pretty good offering in that regard, and I think they do a pretty good job in this one. I used to really like the servers that had you on the prison island as a spawn in a battle. I know they were very laggy and had all these connection issues, but they were fun, really frantic and fun. Tizzy's another good one, so hopefully we might find one of those that's still up and kind of show that off. But really, it's just going to be a combination of different, servers, so you get an idea of what they offer, and so that you can look for them when you're going to play yourself if you want something that is, more geared towards a PvP experience. Because again, this is something that a lot of people have been sending and asking comments about when I do all the PvP stuff. It's like, what kind of servers and stuff do you suggest? Well, we're jumping into them. And also, I don't know, something to kind of fill the gap, because it's a bit of a quieter time of the year. What is going on? And I'm out. Yeah, I am out of there. But, it is a quieter time of the gaming year, so I thought this might be a good idea. So just dub this the best DayZ PvP servers, at least on Xbox. I don't know. I guess we could also do one for PlayStation. I have PS Plus if that interests anyone. But alas, that would take some time to go do that as well. But I very well could do a PlayStation 4 focused best PvP servers, which I might actually do now that I'm thinking of it while I'm playing this, so maybe stay tuned for that as well, because they do have different server options based on what you kind of get. Just keep in mind, that it would be so fun actually if I went back there with a gun and kind of blasted in there, like blasted all four of the people that were like in that bathroom doing unspeakable things to one another. But yeah, like I was saying before I got sidetracked, the servers are expensive, they're hard to kind of run and deal with, so I could see, that's kind of one of the leading contributing factors as to why, some of these servers disappear over time. So it kind of is a constant battle to keep up with what servers are available and kind of seeing things. I do quite like these ones, the ones that offer a pretty cool setup in regards to having some like weird buildings and stuff placed everywhere. I think that's kind of cool, a little bit more advanced than just like the typical DayZ experience that you would witness playing the game regularly. I think that makes it a little bit more fun. Regularly. There you go, saying that better. Been enjoying some fancy adult floats, so, kind of makes the action a little bit more fast-paced and intense for me. Though I think with that, we're going to maybe switch over to the next one here. I just want to kind of show off this next chain of buildings a little bit closer, so you get an idea of, like, the main modifications here, like all this cover, all this crash stuff, the helicopters, the buildings. They've done a really good job on this one if you're wanting just, action-packed PvP with lots of guns and stuff. I mean, I haven't run into somebody, a little bit here, but I'm kind of getting to the next territory where there'd be lots of people. I mean, we saw a whole bunch of guys in a weird bathroom thing. I mean, that is like prime DayZ conflict, in my opinion, Seeing that kind of thing. It's weird. It's one of those situations where if it was like a regular match, you'd be like, what is going on here? And you would just, like, nope out of there. But yeah, let's get another server and keep showing off more action and more options for you. So this one's a bit different. This is sort of like they say a start kit in that. I don't really see that in action. But it definitely is a bit of a modified option in regards to the content that you're going to, experience while you're playing this. So that's kind of interesting. Lots of conflict. And a lot more zombies kind of present in this one, which is interesting. As you're seeing, pretty steady selection of weapons and tools are found around here with the custom spawns, it looks like. But yeah, you might be familiar with this town. It's one of the main ones, and they've sort of lightly adjusted it with a couple buildings. I think it's just 2 here that are really changed up. A big building where a lot of the conflict happens. Ooh, that hurts. Cut me deep. But yeah, seeing we're just like spawning in this really central focused area. So if you like something that's a bit more of a, I guess you could say a King of the Hill type situation for battles, I think this one kind of provides that. It wouldn't necessarily be my sort of go-to thing, but I think it's a good option for people that want that sort of frantic, focused, in a little bit of a different area scenario. But you do largely get people, that are kind of capping the higher area segments of this one. But yeah, as you can see already from the guns I found and, well, procured, I guess, you do get a decent selection here, so that's a little bit neat and fun to deal with. I guess you gotta be careful, otherwise we're gonna get blasted away. That guy is camping that roof hard. Lots of bodies around here. But yeah, they got a neat setup going with this one. It's a little bit different. I think I've jumped in it before for gameplay showcases. It's kind of neat just because it is different. And that's what I'm trying to provide, is like a little bit, I guess, of variety in terms of the gameplay mechanics here. Oh, they're not paying attention. Good, good, good. I can't believe they stopped paying attention. Oh. Did I have another thing? I did not bring another gun. That's not good. Oh no, I'm going to die. Unless I can get that gun. Oh, off the building. And time for another level. So we've got a first-person mode here, this one. I don't think this one is quite as busy right now. It does offer 20 slots, and it's just a different, Northwest Airfield option that I thought might be interesting to some players that are wanting to, jump into this kind of action. It's a little bit different of a setup. Being first person, it makes it slightly unique. It just kind of plays off the regular sort of Northwest Airfield, but obviously a little bit more of a focused PvP offering than, say, like the regular world, because this one does actually spawn you in this particular location, so you might find that enticing as being something that is a middle ground between modded insanity and regular gameplay, something a little bit between the two. Now, for loot, I haven't seen that it has a ton of loot, but that also could be due to the, spawning and everything like that. It just doesn't seem like it's overloaded loot, but obviously you're going to find better stuff, because this is a bit of a military base, but it's just kind of got like a focus on people battling one another in this spot. Oh man, nothing's showing up here. That's not good. I want to blast people away, but I think it's good to have a balance on these sorts of, I guess, list options or something like that, just so that you have variety for choice. I mean, not everybody wants something that's like crazy modded action. Some people want something that's a little bit more traditional. Some people don't like first person. Some people prefer first person. There's all these different options within the games, but I thought I would highlight this one, even though it's a little bit different, because maybe it's a little bit smaller and a little bit unique of an option, at least I think so, within the game. And that, so it looks like not really running into people here. And I hope it was good just to highlight something briefly a little bit different. Again, just throwing it up here so you have an idea of this one. I mean, some players are in it, so I'm sure they're going around blasting each other, but we're going to hop into another one at this point. Great, so we got another PvP option here, as you're seeing with some cool lighting in the background. This is the Anarchy sort of option, 10 times boosted military loot. As you can see, I've got a cool hat. I have found some guns, but they've been out of ammo because they were basically left in the clutches of dead bodies, you know, people that got blasted away. So this one doesn't really seem to do a whole lot to necessarily change the environmentals of this area, but it does seem to offer a good selection of varied loot, not only in terms of guns and, like, you know, weapons like that, but also in terms of food and that too, so you can actually, you know, be a little bit effective when it comes to surviving in the game too, instead of just, you know, blasting each other away, because food is often overlooked in this type of, yeah, generally option for competing against one another in these situations. See, we got a gun there, a couple guns actually. Selection of guns. Gonna blast away here. Is there another one too? Another KAM? Jeez. So as you can see, we're getting some pretty good guns. It seems to get a pretty good allotment of spawning weapons and tools. So I think this one's kind of solid for what we're looking for in this particular option of conflict. I do wish that the rain would be toned down a little bit in this particular one, as it seems to be a very wild focus. But yeah, I think this might be a decent option for some conflict. I mean, we are seeing some bodies and some people flying around here, so I think that's a generally good sign of the battles to come if you were to choose this particular server for conflict. And it does play around with a unique area in terms of, you know, not being something that is entirely just like an open world map, but that it does actually have a little bit more, I guess, of a custom focus to it, at least from what I've seen thus far within it. So generally good spawns for your weapons, and I was hoping to kind of run into somebody, which hasn't happened yet. Well, I mean, aside from dead bodies, but it definitely looks like there's a good allotment of individuals that have found themselves dying in this area. I was kind of hoping I'd get, like, blasted at or something, or maybe even, like, sniped down, but does not appear to be happening within this one. But it is a good sign that, you know, just in regards to the allotment of weapons, what types of weapons are here. I think it's a good option if you're looking for something with PvP and quite a lot of players within it. Pretty high player count lobby, in my opinion. And yeah, that's a look at what this one provides, just giving you a little bit of a tease of the loot and guns and stuff. But we'll switch over to another server at this point. Great, so as a finisher for today, we have this one that is more of a regular world, but apparently it's the best 1.08 server. Factions, FPP, smooth 70 players. Wow, that's a lot to live up to. Anyways, lots of conflict in the distance, a first-person perspective, and again, something a little bit different. And I gotta be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I even did some searches. I can't seem to find any DayZ-based servers currently available, and that's just what happens. It could also just be down at the moment too, but you know, I'm sorry about that. If you do find DayZ ones, take a look at those because they're pretty cool. And that's just the gist of the servers, you know, whether or not you're going to end up with something where, you know, you get to do the levels you want. Because I've been looking for a, you know, Prison Island one for just ages and haven't come across it. You know, seeing no DayZ ones is a little bit disappointing because that's a neat little conflict space. But yeah, when we're playing right now, you know, I saw some unique little areas that I think have some good little battlegrounds to them, some different areas, a little bit distinct conflicts. I do feel that, you know, the straight up deathmatch setup that you get from playing on the Northwest Airfield, those ones are always the best options if you want, like, fast-paced PvP, just straight to the point. Those ones hit the mark. But I hope I also showed off maybe some that are a little bit different and or unique, you know, mixing up the action a little bit further. This one, again, kind of feels a little bit more like a regular server offering. Oh, wow, except, apparently, I guess the zombies are a little bit cooler and a little bit more hostile in this one, that's for sure. They got some neat outfits going on there. It's a bad part of first person, you can't tell if they're coming for you. But there was lots of shots. I haven't really seen if the factions element is true. Maybe they organize things during certain times, but they definitely have the lock on cool zombies you gotta deal with, because they do seem a little bit different. I've also got my safety vest on. Wow, those zombies really, really want to piece me. So again, it's just like a different little offering, something a little bit unique, and I thought I'd throw it in here because it's the best, right? I don't know. So I hope the selection was decent. I don't know if you were expecting anything more insane, but, you know, that's kind of the gist of what is available for the game at this current point, and, you know, hopefully maybe something new to check out and take a look at. Oh, they're coming. That one was flying to get over here. It's got the red headband.